What is up, everybody? We are back. It is Wednesday. I believe it's October 6th. It has been 8 days since my ulnar nerve transposition and the release of the Guyon's Canal in my hand to alleviate this ulnar nerve pain that I've been dealing with for quite some time. So today I just wanted to talk about kind of how it's been, how it's going, some things that are going on with me, just in case you're looking at this video because you're thinking about having the surgery or trying to figure out what's going on with your arm. Maybe this can help. Like I always say, I'm not a doctor. This is not like a guide to treatment. This is just my experience dealing with this situation in particular. So I was having a lot of issues with my right arm from the elbow down to the wrist, and over a period of a few years, it would affect my shoulder as well. And what was happening for me was a lot of people, they experience tingling, numbness. I had a little bit of that, but really what I was experiencing was a pinching sensation right above my elbow and just radiating pain down into my hand, a lot of soreness, stiffness, and that pinching sensation was really rough. It started just in my elbow, but then it gradually came down and started getting some pinching sensation in my wrist and in my palm as well. So we had done months and months and months of conservative treatment, therapies, all sorts of stuff. And it would work, but it really wasn't solving the problem. So we were looking for a fix to kind of put this behind me. So I decided to do the ulnar nerve transposition, the surgery where they actually cut a piece of your muscle and put the tendon through the muscle put the nerve through the muscle so that it has a lot less of a chance of coming loose from the new area that they put it in, where it normally goes around your elbow. They take it out of there and move it up in your arm a little bit more. So we decided to do that, and a few weeks before surgery, I called my surgeon and I said, hey, I've been doing some research and I'm pretty sure I have compression in the wrist as well. And he went back and looked at some of my exams and nerve compression tests we had done, and he confirmed that. So I said, I don't want to do the elbow, recover from the elbow to find out that my wrist still bothers me. So let's do both at the same time. And just from talking to him, I don't know what I expected, but man, did they fillet my arm open. I was a little bit surprised at the hand as well. I thought that there would be like a small incision on the wrist, but man, you can see from the thumbnail, they went from my wrist all the way up into like the middle of my palm and just opened it wide up. But I was talking with the occupational therapist yesterday as he was cleaning my dressing, because yesterday was 1 week, and he said, most of this is soft tissue. Most of this is a flesh wound. There's a few areas where they did cut the tendon, and in your elbow they cut the muscle, put the nerve through it, and then reattach the muscle. So those are really the only things you really have to heal from for the next 8 weeks. Everything else is pretty superficial. So that made me feel really good. And he started me with just simple at-home exercises that I can do as well to start doing twice a day. And I go see him twice a week. So I really wanted to go hard on the physical therapy when I was ready, because I want to recover. And he told me something yesterday that made me feel really good. He said, you are going to make a 100% recovery. You will be able to work and play relatively pain-free when we're done with this. He said, you're a young guy, you're a former athlete. It's funny saying that, but I did participate in a lot of sports. And he said, with that mentality, and if you're able to do the stuff I tell you to do at home, I know that you will make a full recovery. So that was really exciting. And just him saying the stuff about the soft tissue, it's mainly superficial, that made me feel really good as well. And now starting to do the exercises, I feel really optimistic about this recovery. I feel like week to week I'm going to make huge leaps and bounds, but I'm going to be really careful for 8 weeks, even into 12 weeks, because I don't want to aggravate that nerve right now. I want to really let it settle and heal so that I can put this behind me. So that's kind of what it was been, how it's going now. I'll tell you guys a little bit about kind of what's frustrating about this. Besides not being able to work, not being able to exercise, not being able to do a lot with my arm, it's rough sometimes getting comfortable in bed, because the way you lay down, your elbow, that outside edge of your elbow is usually touching the bed or touching whatever you're laying down on. So that can be a bit uncomfortable finding a position. And then throughout the night, you want to make sure that you're conditioning yourself to be aware of what you're doing in the middle of the night. Sometimes you might wake up and go to reach for something, and you want to make sure you're really careful doing that kind of stuff. And even like today, because I am basically pain-free. It's been 8 days and I have no real pain. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. I can tell that I have some incision sites, but there's no real pain involved. It's not like when I had knee surgery and they repaired my ACL. Like, that was painful. You know, starting to walk again, that was painful. This stuff is just really uncomfortable. So that's really good. You know, if maybe if I didn't have the surgery on my hand and my wrist as well, I'd be a little bit further along. So I just have to take it really careful. But like today, I wasn't really thinking, and I grabbed and I opened the refrigerator with this arm, and I was like, oh, but there was no pain sensation. So I was like, okay, you know, I need to be careful, because they say not to push, pull, or lift anything over, I think it's 2, maybe 5 pounds right now. So I have to be careful, but it's going good, man. I'm really, really optimistic. I have not felt, knock on wood, any of that pinching sensation, any of that throbbing pain in my wrist. That is gone for the most part. And you see, I just shrugged my shoulders. When I used to shrug my shoulders and drop them, I would get an extreme, like, shock bolt that would go basically from the you know, between my armpit and my elbow, down my elbow, down into my wrist, into my fingers every time. And I would, even doing some like light movements, I would get that shocking sensation. And then after a couple of hours into the day, I'd feel that pinching. And it was literally like somebody was in my arm, pinching that nerve off just enough to start to feel pain. And then over the day, it would just get worse and worse. And I have not felt any of that. I do have a little bit of tingling sensation in my pinky finger and in my hand here whenever I do my exercises, or maybe if I overdo it a little bit, or I'm in a weird position for too long, I get a little bit of that. But the therapist said that's normal. The nerve is kind of calming down and repairing itself right now. So that's totally normal. I'm icing it after the exercises, but I'm not really icing it too much, because there's no real trauma other than what they went in there and did. So I don't have a lot of inflammation at all, or swelling. I guess you call it swelling, inflammation, whatever. My hand is a little bit swollen. My fingers are a little fat, but nothing crazy. You know, it's going down every single day. I'm very happy with this. With business, my employee's doing great. We've shifted a little bit in the type of jobs that we're taking, because he's just one man, so he can only do so much. But I'm very happy that I made this choice. And for a couple days out of surgery, I was like, man, did I make the right choice? Did I just make like a crummy decision? Because it was up to me to make the decision, should we do the surgery or not. My surgeon was really like, hey man, like, you're young. It's really up to you. You know, I think that we can give you quite a bit of relief from doing it, but I'm going to let you make that decision. So that was a little bit rough. I didn't really like that. I wanted him to go in and tell me, but he's a great surgeon, and he's not going to go in there and do something that you haven't felt comfortable about or thought through. So really pleased I did it. I'm going to continue physical therapy, and then once this heals 100%, I'm going to continue going to see the therapist that I was going to for 7 months, trying to alleviate the issues, and go, you know, once a month and have him work out whatever's kind of bothering me. And I'm just going to continue this strength and conditioning routine that I'm on, and then up it and start to do some weight training as well, because I want to bulk up a little bit. I want to become stronger in the areas I need to, in particular, like my joints, to take pressure off of them as I continue through business and get older. I want to stay feeling good. So this was a major step this year. Got the knee done, got the elbow and the hand taken care of, so I can be the best version of myself for my family, for my business, for myself. You know, I've been in pain for the better half of 10 years. So I'm excited for the future. Like always, like this video so other people can find it. Leave me some comments of some things that you dealt with after surgery and how you got through them. And like always, subscribe. We're getting up there almost to 300 subscribers. Thank you all so much.